Transport in plants. What sort of materials will be transporting in plants? These are organic material, nutrients, water, etc. Whenever this transport is happening over long distances, it requires vascular system and is known as translocation. In case of xylem, this translocation is unidirectional, whereas in case of phloem, this translocation is multidirectional because the food synthesized at the leaves, the source is to be transported not only to the various parts of the plants but also to the storage units. Hence, this flow is multidirectional. Means of transport. Diffusion. It is that process of transportation which is passive in nature. It don't require any energy. It just requires a concentration gradient and movement occurs from higher concentration towards the lower concentration, and it is the only means of gaseous exchange in case of plants. Facilitated diffusion. As you know, membrane is lipid soluble, hence lipid molecules can easily pass through it. But what about substances which have a hydrophilic moiety attached? It is difficult for them to cross through the membrane. So, on these membranes, proteins are present at certain sites, and these proteins, they act as a carrier and allows the transport of these substances across the membrane. You can see in the diagram porin, a kind of protein which involves 8 different proteins and forms aquaporin. Here in the diagram you can see outer side of the membrane and then the inner side, how porin is facilitating and acting as a carrier for the movement across membrane. In certain cases, these proteins act as carrier only when two molecules are moving together. You can see in the diagram, in this case, 3 types of movement is visible. Uniport, the movement is taking place in only one direction. Antiport, one molecule A is going inside and B is coming out. Symport, both the molecules AB is going in same direction. Active transport. Active transport is the mechanism of transport in which energy in form of pumps is required for the transportation of molecules. Here, the molecules from low concentration can be transported to a region of higher concentration. These pumps are nothing but proteins. In case of active transport, energy consumption is seen. Comparison of various processes, you can see in the table. First, special membrane protein. It is not required in case of simple diffusion. It is required in case of facilitated and active transport. Highly selective. In case of simple diffusion it is not, facilitated diffusion is, and active is also. Transportation saturation. It is not seen in case of simple diffusion, seen in case of facilitated and also seen in case of active transport. Uphill transport. This is not seen in simple, neither seen in facilitated diffusion but seen in active transport. It requires ATP as energy. It is not seen in diffusion or facilitated diffusion but it is seen in case of active transport.